I need to record this for Lexi. I forgot. Okay, so we'll start with the knight. So on your notes, you want to put number 1, the knight. He tells us that about each person, he's going to say, as they appeared to me, who they were, what was their degree, and also their array. So what does that mean? Who they are would describe their
like their personality,
and
then what
looks, job maybe, and then we're gonna add another one is gonna be
like their social
class, their station, and what they were dressed like, because that would affect that. Now, for each of these people, we're going to assign them a place in the feudal pyramid. So, what are the places inside the pyramid? What's at the top?
King,
queen, so royalty.
Yeah,
Royalty.
Knights, and what do you call them?
Nobility, yeah.
Nobility.
And that would include the knight.
Yeah.
And peasants.
Peasants.
Like
And then
ladies.
the peon people. Like the indentured servants.
Less than peasants.
So we're going to consider the peasants like the working class, and the bottom is
Serfs.
serfs. Now, we have a separate pyramid for what?
The Catholic Church.
The church. So the last one's going to be church. I'm going to tell you there's no royalty. So each person on your notes, you're either going to put nobility, peasant, serf, or church. So for the knight, and I would just put this maybe in parentheses next to their name. So the knight belongs to which group?
Oh, nobility.
Yeah, nobility.
Yeah.
Okay, so for each of these 30 people, we're going to be looking for what they look like, what's their personality, what are they wearing, what social class do they fit into. And once we know those things, we're also going to add, lastly, how does Chaucer feel about this archetype? So what does Chaucer think about this type of person from the Middle Ages? Does he have good things to say about them or bad things to say? So is he judging them as a good person or a bad person? Okay, makes sense? All right. P.S. You're going to want to familiarize yourself with the rhyming pattern of this poem, because at the end, you're all going to be writing a poem that has the same sound pattern as this poem.
I have a question.
Okay?
What are those words on the board?
7 deadly sins.
Okay. And then is that gluttony or
Gluttony.
gluttony?
Isn't gluttony like
Food.
Yeah, I thought
It's
it was
got
like
to do with
indulging, like
indulgence, like having more than you
you really
need.
You mean like
So-
greed?
Oftentimes, it has to deal with food.
It'd be like
Well,
kind of
I'd be
like
dead.
It could also have to do with like a lot of them kind of bleed together. Like lust can be considered gluttonous if you
Which could also be considered greedy.
like as if like your wife doesn't make you happy enough, so you have to have other
there's
women.
7 different chicks.
Yeah. So that could be gluttony. That could also be avarice. That could also be lust.
Wow.
Okay.
Alright.
All right. The knight. A knight there was, and he a worthy man, who from the moment that he first began to ride about the world, loved chivalry, truth, honor, freedom, and all courtesy. Full worthy was he in his liege lord's war, and therein he had ridden none more far, as well in Christendom as heathenese, and honored everywhere for worthiness. At Alexandria he, when it was won, full oft the table's roster he begun, above all nations, knights in Prussia. In Latvia raided he, and Russia. He christened man, so oft of his degree. In far Granada at the siege was he, of Algeciras, and in Belle Marie at Aes was he, and at tell ye when they were one, and on the middle sea at many a noble meeting chanced to be. And he fought for our faith at Tramacene of mortal battles, he had fought 15. 3 times in lists, and each time slain his foe. This selfsame knight had been also at one time with the Lord of Palati against another heathen in Turkey, and always won he sovereign fame for prize. Okay, so most of his description has to do with what?
His fighting.
His fighting, all the different places he
Fought.
And all of these are battles fought during the Crusades. Good. So when it says he's fighting heathens, that means
Fighting not Christians.
people who are not Christian, correct? Like Azim would have been considered a heathen in
Oh, yeah,
Robin
yeah.
Hood.
I was trying to think who that was, and I'm like,
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
Okay, and how good at his job was he?
Very good.
Apparently he's
Super,
very good.
super good.
He's very worthy, and
Yes.
he was honored.
Honorable.
Yeah.
Yes, he, like, if you had a picture of knights in the handbook about how to be a knight,
It'd be in the front page.
this guy could be the poster child. He's that good.
He's probably
Okay.
good looking too.
Probably not. It's middle ages.
Okay, 25. Though so illustrious, he was very wise, and bore himself as meekly as a maid. He never yet had any vileness said in all his life, so to whatsoever wight. He was a truly perfect gentle knight. But now to tell you all of his array, his steeds were good, but yet he was not gay. Of simple fustian he wore a jupon, sadly discolored by his habergeon, for he had lately come from his voyage, and now was going on this pilgrimage. Okay, so what's he got with him?
Chainmail. Armor stuff.
Okay, he's still basically wearing his
He's like still wearing all his
battle gear because he.
Still ready.
Why has he still got it on?
Is it just getting
Yeah,
over?
lately come from his
Yeah, he just got back from his last deployment. I guess it's not really what it is, but his last stint fighting. So he just returned. So he hasn't had time to like go home and.
do his thing.
Okay, what else do we know about his character traits from this section?
Worthy, honorable,
Perfect.
wise, humble, perfect, gentleman. simple.
Wise, humble, no man has ever said
Negative
Anything
things
bad?
about it.
anything bad about him.
After the night comes
He
the-
has these really nice horses, but he doesn't make it a thing.
Nice horses sitting on my hand.
Is a squire peasant? I would think so.
Okay, so it says,
Just under him.
number 2, the squire. With him there was his son,
Oh.
a youthful squire. So where would the squire go?
Nobility.
Nobility. Okay, because he is the son of the knight, so he's like
How does
a
he become a knight?
knight in training. He has to prove himself somehow.
I thought it was
Like,
like that.
Who can make him a knight? Like, does it have to be like a royal or
Like
a
what the
noble?
highest ranking knights,
So probably his
the
dad to make
king,
him a knight if he's like that highly looked upon.
perhaps.
So his father really couldn't make him a knight. Like,
Probably yes.
he could.
Probably. I don't really know. It's a good question.
Hopefully
I've
he
never
becomes
asked
a
it
knight
before.
throughout this. I just want to see if he does.
Okay, ready? With him there was his son, a youthful squire, a lover, and a lusty bachelor, with locks well curled as if they'd laid in press. Some 20 years of age he was, I guess. In stature he was of an average length, wondrously active, and great of strength. He'd ridden some time with the cavalry in Flanders, in Artois, and Picardy, and borne him well within that little space, in hope to win thereby his lady's grace. Okay, so what's his experiences in life been so far?
He likes girls.
Yes, we're going to get into that in a little else. What are those names that are listed there?
Flanders, Artois, Party.
Yeah.
Sites in France and the Netherlands were English
There's
and
like spots.
Okay, so he has actually been,
fought in France.
yeah, he has actually fought in some battles so far. And how did he do in those
Very
battles?
well.
Very well. But he hasn't lost his boyish charm.
So he's still kind of like a child at heart.
Ew.
What does it mean when it says, line 10, in hope to win thereby his lady's grace?
Well, he's trying to get a girl.
He's
Yeah,
fighting for
he's fighting for a woman. You know, like chivalry, where they would like wear their, like the woman would give her his handkerchief. She would give the knight her handkerchief to, and he would fight for her honor and in her honor.
I wish people did that.
That's
today.
what the squire
What,
does.
fight
That's why
for
he
honor?
goes to battle.
Next time someone goes into a football game, just give them a handkerchief.
Okay.
Yeah, do good.
Okay. Line 11. Embroidered was he, like a meadow bed, all full of freshest flowers, white and red. Singing he was, or fluting all the day. He was as fresh as is the month of May. Short was his gown, with sleeves both long and wide. Well could he sit on horse and fairly ride. He could make songs and words thereto indite, joust and dance too, as well as sketch and write. So hot he loved, that while night told her tale, he slept no more than does a nightingale. Courteous he and humble, willing and able, and carved before his father at the table. Okay, so start on line 11.
Why does that sound so familiar?
What does he look like?
Hot.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay,
Like his daddy.
he's he's
a lot
like
like
I
his dad.
said, he still has that boyish charm. He has not been hardened by the realities of war. Okay? So remember at the beginning of Robin Hood when Peter and Robin and Azim and all those guys are locked up in that prison?
Yeah.
Like that's the reality of war, right?
Yeah.
But the Squire, he hasn't done that yet. He's like stabbed a guy or, you know.
What's this full
Seen a
of
cannon
precious
fired.
flowers, white and red?
Okay,
Like, his shirt's like embroidered?
it just means that he's still like pretty and like I said, he's still
Good looking.
he's still got that boyish charm.
He's still innocent.
Innocence, yes, good. Now, what do the next lines imply?
He's very talented. He can sing. He can dance.
Yes.
He can sketch. He can write.
Very talented, and it says over on side note 34, literacy was not widespread at this time, so this is a mark of the Squire's class of nobility.
Oof.
The fact that he is good at so many things tells us that he is from a wealthy family who have the
Got the dollars.
You have the money to give
who have the ability to teach him all these things. You know, it's like rich kids, they like go to ballet and piano and cello and
Or you can get a keyboard for
all of these things. And,
$300.
he's like that.
Music.
okay, how about at the end? So line
Carved
19.
before his father.
So line 19 through 22.
Nice.
19, 20, and 21.
He was very in love with his
He
lady.
slept no more than does a nightingale.
Okay,
He
it
humbled,
says,
willing and
So
before
hot
the table.
he loved that while night told her tale, he slept no more than a nightingale.
So he's
What's-
sleeping around?
What's a nightingale?
I don't
A
know.
bird?
A bird that sings all night. So,
Yeah, you never
like the
actually-
nightingale, he's awake all night.
Just getting chicks.
Yeah.
Oh! Oh no!
So while most people are resting, he is loving.
That's
Nice. I'm gonna put
I probably
at
shouldn't make
night.
that.
He is 11.
I'm looking at the girls.
Okay, well I put something different. I probably should do something else.
It's the girl.